Gemini Rights is Steve Lacy's fourth project following up 2020's The Lo-Fis album. I had previously heard of Lacy from his work with the band The Internet, mainly from the hit song Come Over, which ends with a section dedicated to Steve Lacy himself. But I'm not here to talk about how phenomenal 2018's Hive Mind is. I'm here to talk about Steve Lacy's 2022 album, Gemini Rights. And man, I really love this album. It's equal parts rock as it is psychedelic. It's hip-hop as it is R&B. It's funky as it is calming. The multi-genre project perfectly balances all these genres to culminate into a tight and focused record. It's simple as. For as laid back as it sounds overall, it really keeps you hooked and paying attention like it's not there to help fill the void of silence, but to supplement the lack of silence in a good way. It's got a purpose other than having sound in the background. It's a mood changer. It changes the room. In this, Lacy writes about the essential backbone of modern R&B, in relationships. He writes about his first heartbreak like in the intro track Static. He writes about manipulation in Mercury. And he writes about reminiscing about a former lover in Amber. He pretty much writes about the essential topics if one were to go about making a generic R&B album. But while the topics are as old as time, the music as a whole is not. Each track on the record has its own distinct themes, rhymes, pacing, and structure. Bad Habit and Sunshine sounds like the classic pop R&B bop, while the instrumentals on Cody Freestyle sounds like something out of Blade Runner. And the instrumental on Mercury just sounds like something I've never heard before, with the use of the synths, the guitars, the horn, the vocals, and how hypnotic they sound in unison. It's just phenomenal. A perfect harmony. This album is pretty much everything I would envision psychedelic R&B to sound, really. And while I don't love every single track on the album, tracks like Static and Together are nowhere near the realm of bad, just not as great as the rest of the album. And all Steve Lacy had to do was do good on the basics of R&B and funk music. Good instrumentals, good catchy hooks, decent lyrics, and he delivered on his staple expectation as a 24-year-old guitarist going solo. But he didn't do that. He exceeded those bars and created one of the better records I've heard in the past few years. As of now, it's absolutely my favorite album of the year. Gemini Rights will go down as being the album that put him on the map as a solo artist against the industry's biggest hitters, and just further proves his potential to take the throne is coming sooner rather than later. I'm giving this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. You always knew the way to wow me. Fuck around, get tongue-tied.